minimum.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. It looks as if we're kicking this off. I want to make sure that I'm everywhere else as well, including on Instagram. And I think it's happening. It's happening. Okay, great. I am joined by my very good friend and the incredible Metabolic Mind sensation. Also, if I'm not mistaken, medical director of you give me all the titles.
Go. The titles keep being added, which is interesting. So yeah, medical director of Bazooki Group, medical director of Metabolic Mind, medical director of the Coalition for Metabolic Health. So got my hands in a couple of different fires here, but all moving towards sort of the same goal of let's talk more about metabolic health, low carb, ketogenic therapy, and how that improves metabolic health, how that improves mental health, and so much else.
Yes, but we're also here to talk about your acting career. Not really acting.
I like to thank the Academy for this award.
Yes,
no, not quite. Not quite.
You also have a prominent role in our documentary, which is coming out in 2 months, called The Cholesterol Code. You have a very prominent role because, of course, you're very prominent throughout the through line of my research life. And you discuss the study and everything as it's happening. That's what the movie's about. And I have to say, it has just been such a pleasure to not only share this journey with you, but for you to be in the film. It's been great.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like to think, and as we've talked before, to think way back to like 2018 or whenever we sort of first started talking about this whole concept of lean mass hyperresponders. What does it mean? How do we learn more about it? Where do we go? And you just took it and ran with it. And now to have this documentary sort of literally documenting the whole journey is incredible. And what a journey. And you're certainly not at the end of the road, but this point is worthy of celebration to say, wow, look what we've done. Look what you've done.
I have a little surprise for you. The team put together a kind of clip related to the footage that we had from the film, but not necessarily all the footage that's actually going to make the cut of the film. Are you ready for this?
Let's see it. I'm excited. Oh boy. Okay, question number 1.
Bret, good to see you again.
Great to be here, Dave. Thanks.
Do I look at you? Or?
Yeah, you'll look at me.
Okay.
Ignore him.
Okay.
Here we are, Bret.
Here we are. So once again.
Very excited. It seems like it's been a long time coming, but just so important to be able to bring this to the world and have so many people see it.
Wasn't that great?
That was awesome. Like so behind the scenes. Oh man, that was great.
Big shout out, of course, to Jen Eisenhardt and her team for putting that together. And it was funny because I often myself think, there's so much great behind the scenes that when you can get a little bit of that in front of people's eyes, it's just lots of fun. There is one entire interview, I don't know if you remember this, that I brought to their attention that we did that never made the cut, even though we talked about a lot of things. Do you remember what the first interview was in the movie that didn't end up being in the movie?
The first interview we did for Cholesterol Code that didn't get in? I got to be honest, I don't.
I didn't think you would. It was at Low Carb Denver. And
oh, wow.
You remember we went to like a special area. It wasn't even its own room. It was kind of like in a big hallway, like very far at the end because it's in that large hotel that was near the airport. And,
there was a clip of it in that reel you just showed. There was a clip of us walking and sitting down in that chair. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I occasionally think, maybe at some point we might have some of those interviews released, but that's okay because the film itself is just phenomenal. I want to, I kind of want to show just how big it's gotten. We had 34 people register to show the movie themselves in their own community. And that's part of what, I'm here to chat with you about, which is that anybody, like literally anybody who's watching this right now, can actually host a screening of our documentary through this Gather platform. And right now you're looking at a map of those 34 different places. It's all across the United States.
Yeah, look at the spread. That's pretty amazing.
It is. Like California, I feel like California is winning. Guys, we need to get like multiples going on over in Nevada so that we got some representation with Vegas.
Yeah.
But yeah,
when people think about like hosting a screening, they're probably like, I don't know what to do. That sounds like really intimidating, but this Gather platform really kind of takes a lot of that work out of it, doesn't it?
It does. So nice teeing me up. Here's the pitch. It's real straightforward. You go to, it's right there at the bottom of the screen, cholesterolcodemovie.com. And it takes you through it. All you got to do is click the button to sign up to be a host. And what happens is you basically sign up. And when you sign up, you actually have just a selection where you're at once you give your location as to the nearby participating theaters, and guaranteed, or mostly guaranteed, depending on how big the place is you're in, there's going to be a lot of different theaters you can choose from. And then what you do is you choose a date, you choose a time, and you go through the end of the process. And then you've got the screening booked. The only other step is just to get your friends and family and whoever else you want to invite to come. And once there's around 40 to 50 to 60 people, depending on, the venue, you're basically getting registrations from them to come to it. And if there's enough registrations, then it officially books the theater and the showing is a go. Just the main thing is there's no risk. There's no risk for you to sign up as a host. There's no risk for the guests that register. It only gets charged if there's a tipping where there's like enough people that get to it, and then it's official. But it's exciting because the thing about it is, yes, this is ultimately going to be on streaming, but in this initial phase, you'll be able to actually enjoy the theater experience. In the theater experience, I mean, my whole family is very much, we used to call it therapy. Like we'd go to we literally would call it family therapy to go to a movie, because the screen experience is just, not like anything else.
Yeah.
And so,
and for something like this, can't you design it so that there's like a Q&A and a discussion, and it's not just watching the film itself, but there's actually some interaction and dig a little deeper?
Yes. Glad you mentioned that, because I forgot until you just mentioned that. You can, as part of the registration package, you can set up a Q&A. So let's say that you're somebody who also wants to continue the discussion after the movie's over. You can arrange for, like, say, a 30-minute Q&A where you can have like discussion. There's even some of these showings that we're going to be able to make it to ourselves. And it's great because, especially if you're interested in the topic of metabolic health, and there's a lot of the themes that come up, above and beyond cholesterol, that definitely come up in the movie that cover these topics. It's a great time to really engage it, especially if it's for people who've never been really introduced to keto before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, such a broad audience of people who would be interested, right? People who are on keto and worried about their LDL, or thinking about keto and LDL, or people who just don't know much about it, but want to learn about it because it's such a fascinating scientific journey and sort of personal story journey too. So there are I think a lot of people that it would apply to and be interested in it.
I have one more clip. I'm going to have them fire up because it's another one that Jen's team put together, which goes to the screening you and I did from the first, version of the film from last year.
Yeah.
And it really kind of brings up the sense of why it's so much fun to be able to do this in a theater. So go ahead and play that one next. There's really no feeling like actually being in a live audience, seeing all of this work that we crafted together.
Spectacular.
I mean, it's incredible.
Tears in my eyes.
The science is not settled.
We need to question everything we've been told.
We could save our whole society.
There are major problems with the way that we identify and treat all kinds of chronic diseases.
This was crowd-funded science. So it's really the influence of the people that made the science happen.
If we can tap into this amazing community, I think we can make a difference.
Woohoo! 2 months. 2 months
That was a
away.
great event. I mean, that was such a phenomenal event. To think that people can do something like that in their area, you know, with their friends and family, with their local group, like that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's just super great. I am stoked because again, I don't want to belabor it too much, but I think there's a real kind of shared experience in being in a theater with people. Again, that's just, you know, something that I've kind of missed out on, especially in the event of a few years ago. So it's nice to occasionally get out and actually, you know, experience something with your community.
Yeah.
So yes, just once again, for anybody who's watching this now, if you would like to host a screening, just go to cholesterolcodemovie.com, click on host a screening. I think it's literally stated as host a screening. It's like in the video itself. And outside of that, I mean, Bret, it's so wonderful that you're going to come back for the third and final COSI Collaborative Science Conference, where we'll likely have a screening ourselves. We're still kind of working out the details. But I mean, as much as I'm excited for the one that's going to be at our conference, I am excited by that map. I love the thought that there's going to be so many of us, including me in Nevada. I'm going to have my own screening that I'm hosting.
Yeah.
There's so many of us across the map that are going to be showing you. Oh, sorry. One more thing that I want to emphasize, which is even though we showed a map of the United States, people can also sign up outside the United States. But we have a team that's on standby, ready to help you out with that. We've got a whole bunch that are in the 34 I just mentioned that are outside the US. What you want to do is you want to email, and there it is, cholesterolcode@gather.com. That's gather without the E. So cholesterolcode@gathr.com, and they can help you out. They'll help you with anything you need. Last thing, there's like additional materials that weren't getting sent before because they were not quite ready yet. We didn't realize so many people were going to sign up so quickly. Now they're ready. They also help you to promote your showing. So your screening that you set up, it's another way to also get the word out. So yeah, anyway, super exciting. I'm glad we're finally getting to this point. I'm glad the movie's going to be out soon.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned COSI too, because I mean, it really just shows, it speaks to your ingenuity and your just passion that you funded a lot of your research and a lot of what you're doing through these conferences and giving people a venue where they can share their stories and tying it into the science and the clinical aspect of it, but starting with the people, the individual stories, which is so much about what this documentary is about people's individual journeys and stories, looking for an answer that wasn't being given to them, but then you and your team, with you as the spark plug, really trying to find a way to say, how can we investigate this more to try and find an answer for these people? I mean, it really brings it back to the human element of it, right? Not just research or documentary for the sake of it, but how do we help these individuals looking for help? So it really is inspiring to see what you've been able to accomplish.
I appreciate it. At the same time, you know, I have to throw it back to not just you, but also to the Bazookies in helping to support getting this film put together and putting it out. One thing that I think is kind of obvious to all of us is there's already a lot of, let's say, documentaries on other kinds of diets than keto. And we don't really have a lot of documentaries that cover the ketogenic diet or just, you know, carbohydrate restriction, especially for therapeutic uses. Would that be a fair statement?
Yeah, I think it's a fair statement. And I think it's also a fair statement to say dietary-based documentaries are of, shall we say, varying degrees of scientific accuracy and take varying degrees of editorial freedoms. And I think it's important when making a documentary, it's not going to be a presentation of just a scientific paper. It's not going to be that scientific, but to stay true to the science and stay very limited with editorial freedoms in terms of overstating things. And I think that's so crucial for an authentic documentary. And I think that's what you have.
Yeah, I think that's, and I'm glad you brought that up. It's something we're really proud of is we were very mindful to not just represent one particular side of things. A lot of times there's a lot of variance of perspective that's within the documentary itself. It doesn't feel like it has only one message necessarily, but it does, I think, open up a lot of interesting questions, and particularly when a lot of the data and the science is presented in a thoughtful manner.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's right.
Well, I want to say thanks for jumping on for the live stream, and I cannot wait to have you see this new cut of the movie, the final cut. It's beyond the sneak previews. We're coming into the final release, and I can't believe it's just a couple months away now. It's incredible.
Yeah, and I think people are going to be a little, surprised about the sort of the twists and turns of the documentary and how it sort of maybe changed over time, and how the story is ongoing. It's pretty incredible. So I highly recommend people check it out.
Well, thank you for joining me, Bret. And for anybody else, again, cholesterolcodemovie.com. And the team let me know that there was where can we see if there's a screening near us already? And for that, the answer would be that the website will be updated with screenings next week. So watch next week at cholesterolcodemovie.com, and they should actually have the means by which for you to find out where there already is a screening, where somebody already has signed up to be a host, and they're promoting it where they're at now. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and wrap. And I hope everybody who's watching this has a wonderful weekend. We'll see you again next time.
Bye.